1023 BXR. All right, your forecast coming up in just a moment with Beth, but it's just after 8 o'clock, and it's time for our Friday Foodies segment where we interview local restaurateurs and chefs about their restaurants, their history, their locations, their menus, and some of their signature dishes as well. And I'm really excited about our subjects for this week. We've been talking about it and promoting it all week, and they are here. Sarah and Jesse from Murry's. Guys, thanks a lot for coming in.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Thanks for having us.
It's really a pleasure having you here in studio, and I've been wanting to talk to you about, Murry's, when you ask people around town, where's a great place to go eat dinner, a comfortable place that's reasonable, and the food is delicious, and it's going to be this great atmosphere. You don't always hear Murry's because, honestly, it's too obvious. It just seems like that. Of course, Murry's, but there are others as well. Is that what's the vibe that you guys are going for with Murry's?
Well, I mean, it's just laid back, local, fun. I'm not doing a very good job.
Yeah, no. How long have you guys owned the place? When did you take over? Because obviously the ownership of Murry's has changed over the years, and Sarah, you guys are in charge now. So it's you're the stewards of this great location.
Yeah, we took over almost 3 years ago from Bill Shields and Gary Moore. They have been owners of Murry's, and we're celebrating our 40-year anniversary next July.
Yeah, Murry's has been around for 40 years. Is that right?
Isn't that amazing?
Man, all right.
Yeah, so they set the mold. They started making food almost 40 years ago in a comfortable atmosphere with live jazz music with some of their best friends, really great people from around town who became quick regulars and really just made a great atmosphere for everybody to come and enjoy.
And it's always been at that location in Green Meadows, in the Green Meadows Way, right?
Yeah, it sure has.
It's a lot of years of being a special place in Columbia. I've talked to some people as I was getting ready for this interview, and I was asking them, what's your favorite dish at Murry's? And I got, the steak and shrimp special. I got the fried oysters. I was supposed to ask you also about, we're going to get into the menu in just a little bit, but I guess we can start with some of these starters. We'll start with the appetizers. And I noticed that some of the things on your menu are named after people.
Yes. One of the most popular things on our menu is the Brock's green peppers.
Brock's green peppers.
Yeah, named after Brock, longtime regular. He still comes in for dinner and jazz shows on Sundays.
Oh, yeah. Brock's a friend of the station. He's been around, for a while.
He's got a great album collection, too. Nice. He's a lover of music, yeah. And it's fried green peppers with powdered sugar on top. Oh, so it's a creation from Brock that he brought to Murry's.
It's classic Columbia.
Yeah.
We are talking with Sarah and Jesse from Murry's, and the Queen is in studio.
Good morning.
Because she goes to dinner.
Because I like to eat.
We go to dinner together a lot. And what about Mom's onion rings? I mean, first of all, whose mom? Is it just like everybody's mom? Is it just like...
That's the secret from all of us. Okay. None of us know the true mother of the onion rings.
And then Bob's, and these are kebabs.
Yeah, 8 ounces grilled sirloin steak. It's prepared on the grill, back in the kitchen on a skewer. They take it off the skewer, serve it on a plate with grilled pepperoni peppers and a grilled tomato wedge. So it's a really popular dish. Some people have it as an appetizer. Some people just come in and get it for their meal.
Hey, it's really interesting because most of the items on your menu are pretty unique. It's not like you can find another version of this other places in town. Is that something that's purposeful, or is that just something that's kind of happened over the course of time?
Yeah, I think when Bill and Gary created the original menu, they wanted it to be something that was quick, simple, but also unique. You find your favorites on that menu, and most people who come in stick to their favorites every time they come in.
I know somebody who swears by the calamari.
Oh, sure. Yeah, the cala crushes. It's just a menu that's really directed to cater to everybody. There's something for everybody on that menu.
Well, everybody likes to go because every time we're there, there's a wait, which is a good problem to have. But
have you guys ever thought about expanding? I mean, I hate to say move because the location is so iconic too. But yeah, there always seems to be a bit of a wait.
Yeah. So I mean, one thing that we did to help out with the wait was we added a waiting area, so you can sit down, enjoy some cocktails, watch a little TV, and not have to sit outside or in your car like you did before. The biggest issue with expanding the location itself is just the parking lot. The parking lot doesn't get any bigger. And it's already a tough situation for people to find a place to park. But we would love to be bigger and be stronger. But I think we're stuck where we're at for now.
It seems perfect, and I don't want to add any more pressure to you guys, but Murry's is just Murry's, and everybody knows it's just a great place to go and eat. We're going to talk more about some of the salads, some of the entrees that they serve at Murry's, and one of the very important aspects of Murry's, which is music. And that's something that's been very important there for a long time. We're talking with Jesse and Sarah from Murry's. It's Friday Foodies, and we're going to take a quick break. We're going to get your forecast from Beth and come back with some music as well. This is 102.3 BXR. 102.3 BXR, Friday Foodies, and we're continuing our conversation with Sarah and Jesse from Murry's and talking about some of the delicious items on their menu. We're going to get to the entrees in just a moment, but also I was mentioning how all these items are named after people. I mean, you got Deb's garlic salad, you got JP's grilled cheese, Gil's cheesecake squares, and Lucy's brownies. I know a Lucy that made brownies. I bet they were different. Anyway, but these are all delicious and kind of unique items that you can find at Murry's. What would you say is the signature dish of Murry's? Is there one, or are there multiple signature dishes? What do you think, Sarah?
I'm a big fan of one of our most recent menu items that we've added. We've made very little changes at Murry's, right? We've been very careful not to change the iconic spot, right? But so we have added something to the menu, which is our Jim Bob's, named after Jimmy, our kitchen manager.
Jim Bob's.
Yeah, it's a play on the Bob's.
Okay.
But it is a grilled filet shish kebab with a chipotle brie cheese sauce on top.
Oh my.
So it's become a favorite quickly amongst our regulars.
Oh, that does sound delicious.
We added it probably 2 years ago now. So, but in Murray's time, that's pretty brand new
quick.
for us. Yeah, it's still new.
One of your fans asked me to ask you about the stuff. Could you explain the stuff, Jesse? What is the stuff? What are they talking about?
Sure. So the stuff it's one of those items that's not on the menu. You have to know the stuff to order the stuff.
Okay.
So what do we got in the stuff? Sarah, we got shrimp, tomatoes, roasted red peppers, mushrooms, and artichokes.
Ooh.
And it's all sauteed up. You can add it to your salmon, add it to your steak, add it to your bobs. Some people just add it on the side in a bowl with nothing else. The stuff.
I got to tell you, I love it when we get items that aren't on the menu.
Sure.
That we hear, David Rowe talking about his special Philly that he does. And stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Ooh, I had another off-menu thing, but I'm pretty plain Jane, but I love our salmon. Grilled salmon, I love to get it with a blackened spice and feta cheese crumbled on top. Yeah. That's a good one.
I'll try it.
We mentioned the cheesecake squares and the brownies. Now that's all part of the dessert menu, but that's a rotating thing, right? I mean, you look at the list of dessert items on your website, and it is pretty long. You don't have all those every night.
No, so it does rotate. We have two bakers in the house. One who's been there for about 22 years, Matt Mackley. So he's our go-to. He's there 5 nights a week baking, and he kind of picks what he wants, but he always wants to have a chocolate. He always wants to have an ice cream. He wants to mix it up, have a crisp. But far and away, the most popular thing on the dessert board is the gooey butter cake.
Yeah.
I mean, people come in, people call like, "Hey, is gooey on the board tonight?" I'm like, "Hey, not right now, but it might be in 10 minutes. So come on in."
Wow, and that is such an iconic St. Louis dessert too, and for you guys to have that at Murry's is fantastic. All right, let's talk about the part of Murry's that's not the food. And of course, you got great atmosphere at Murry's, and a lot of that is because of the music that comes in. Murry's has always been a place that has made jazz something that was important to them and something that always showed up at the dining room. Tell us a little about why that is and how that happens and who's kind of in charge of that.
So it starts with Bill and Gary. They're just lovers of jazz music. We have live music every night but Friday, and on Saturday we have a trio, and Tom Mandy's is kind of the head of it all.
Legend.
Yeah, Tom Mandy's.
Absolutely.
So he plays every Monday and Wednesday night, just the piano, and then on Saturdays it's him on the keys, and then we got a drum kit, and then it's either a stand-up bass or a trumpet or a guitar player. So there's something almost every night. The only night we don't have anything live is Friday, and that's just because it's just so loud in there. Yeah. You wouldn't be able to hear it anyway.
Sure. And sometimes you guys have special jazz events at Murry's as well, right?
Yeah, we sure do. So there is group here in town called the We Always Swing Jazz Series, run by John Poses.
John Poses, sure.
And he celebrates his 30-year anniversary next summer as well. So 2 really big milestones for Murray's and the We Always Swing Jazz Series.
John's been coming in here talking about the Jazz Series for 30 years.
Oh,
so
yeah. He's really done a really cool thing here in Columbia. He's brought some really amazing jazz national jazz acts right here to our little college town, which is very cool, and Murray's gets to host. So we have 6 shows a year. It runs during the school year, so it'll kick back up here in, I believe, November this year. We have 6 jazz shows. We have some really amazing groups coming. Again, you can find all of the tickets, information, everything on the We Always Swing Jazz Series website.
Yeah, and John really brings in some great acts. I mean, it's one Grammy winner after another, it seems like.
Oh, yeah. It's all online.
Yeah, it's all on your website. So I mentioned that, by the way. How do people get onto your website? Is it just murrys.com or what is it?
Yeah, murrysrestaurant.org.
Okay, there we go. And you can check it all out for yourself. Of course, you've probably already been there because it's Murray's, and we're talking with Jesse and with Sarah of Murray's. Okay, guys, we come to that time of the interview where I ask you to name some other place, some other restaurant that you think is doing a great job here in town.
Well, so we're really proud of, the legacy that Murray's has left, that Bill and Gary started. There's been a lot of folks that have worked at Murray's, and Bill and Gary just made it so easy and inspired folks to open their own restaurant. Sanford started Sycamore. He was a longtime manager at Murray's.
Is that right? I'm not sure I knew that.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Lee worked at Murray's. She started Main Squeeze. Deb from Tellers and Sake was at Murray's for a long time, and then started
Lee
her
and Deb are both
vacations.
on the list. They'll be here sometime this summer, so we'll be talking with them
Love
both.
both of those women so much.
All right.
They do a wonderful job here in town. So.
Guys, thanks so much for coming in and talking with us. I mean, having Murray's on Friday Foodies, this just would not be complete without you guys. So we appreciate everything that you do in Columbia and the great restaurant that you've been for us for now coming up on 40 years?
Yeah, it's wild. Thank you so much for having us.
Wow, super. All right, Friday Foodies. I'm not sure who next week is, but we'll figure that out. But thanks to Murray's for coming in and talking to us this week. We'll take another quick break. We've got some bills to pay of our own, and then we'll come back with some more BXR music.